Morning, Odell. Just give it a little bit of time for whoever wants to pop in. Magdeal. Um, yeah, I'm not on Twitter right now. Uh, Me and my girlfriend, we're taking 2 months off of social media. Just something we decided we wanted to do. So yeah, I'm not on Twitter or Instagram or anything for um, like another like month or month and a half or something like that. So yeah, but I'll be back. I'll be posting my trades again once the 2 months is up on that. So all right, good morning, guys. Let's get started. Today's not a crazy day for the gap list or potential trades, um, but there's a few that I'll be watching. SLS is the only one really that I'm going to be watching out of the open, and then there's going to be a couple that I'll be watching later into the day, and we'll go over the plans on that. Yeah, it's good to take some time off. It can be distracting, and then creates issues sometimes and things like that. So yeah, it's definitely good. It's definitely good, and we do that every once in a while. We'll take like a month off every once in a while and things like that. Anyway, so from last night, from the previous couple days, SLS, it's been a multi-day runner. Pretty much it's a perfect setup besides the fact that it's not having a day three, but it's up over 300%. The starting market cap is under 100 million. The float is good. It's at like 7 million. Let's see, what else do we need for a first red day? Every single day the volume has been increasing. So it's a good setup besides the fact that it didn't have a day three. So since now we have to look at how we're going to trade this. It is gapping down quite a bit. It's had a big sell-off here from the 14s down to the 12s, unfortunately. So hopefully it can reclaim. But what I'm going to be looking for out of the open is a spike into these key levels of ideally 16 to 18. If you get a spike 16 to 18, risking off of the 1940, then that offers a good risk to reward. If we ideally, let's say $18, we risk $1.50, and the potential is down to like $10, the max. So we're making $8, risking $1.50. So that's super solid risk to reward. Again, even if you're getting in at 16, risking $3.50 to make $6. So that's still 3 to 1 risk to reward. So either way, $16 or $18, risking out for the 1940s, you have a solid setup. Again, obviously, I would probably not go in full size just because it didn't have a day three and it's gapping down quite a bit today. So not ideal in that sense. But this is the only one that I'm watching right out of the open. Let me see if anything else has popped up quickly on scan. So the other ones that I'm looking for later in the day is going to be SNOA and VTVT. Fat, not ideal, just not enough volume pre-market, and it's a micro float. FRSX is a breakout over the $2 level, so that's a no short. It could be a good long actually. So it's a potential long. If it holds up this $2 level, then you got room to like $3, $4, $5 that I could run to. So FRSX is a long actually, long idea. And if you're also looking for another long idea, so is AHT. This was in my watch list last night, but it's gearing up for a potential breakout over $6. But this is more or less of a swing trade, and you could take it up to like 10, 12, $15. That's where the range is on this chart. But you gotta wait. You really don't want to be anticipating breakouts, because your 1% is going to go down dramatically if you do that. So wait for the breakouts to confirm and hold, and then could be a good trade later. But I'm not going to be touching. I don't really lawn or swing, so it's just an idea. But VTVT, the resistance on the daily is, we got the most was 40 million at $3.50. Then we have 24 million at, 4.5. So, and right now it's already trading 15 million shares pre-market, so it'll trade 100 to 150 today, if it trades normally. So that volume overwhelms any resistance previously. So taking a trade pre-market is not good. It's too dangerous. So you have to wait to see what it does out of the open. What I would be looking for on this would be a morning spike, having that spike fail, then taking the pop or bounce after that morning spike has failed, risking off of that high of day. Or potentially another way you can trade it, it would be a little bit more dangerous, but you would get a better entry, and you'd get more risk to reward, would be shorting that morning spike if you get it, risking off of this pre-market high. So that's VTVT. Dallas, hey Alex, big fan of yours. Question about sizing that you mentioned yesterday on UTSI trade. Can you elaborate on that? You said you were adding as the stock went higher to 250, risking 2.8. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. No, I wasn't doing that. So, I've been changing up my style of sizing in a little bit. Personally for myself, I've noticed that when I tend to split up my positions into many pieces and size in as the spike happens, I face a few issues. One is I don't have a good average. So generally, I'm sizing in, as it goes up, where if I would have just taken, one entry later, then I would have had a better entry. So I'm not getting the best average. So that's creating a, less risk to reward. The other thing that I've noticed is that, I'll size in, like, let's say a third or a quarter, and then it ends up dropping. And, I was planning to add in a little bit higher. And now, I have a winner, but my winner is only on a quarter size. And then when I lose, because I'm adding all the way into that resistance, I'm in full size and I take a full size loss. So, a lot of times what will happen is, I win, but I win small, and then I lose, and I lose big. So that plus when you're sizing in like that, at least personally for myself, that's how I've always been doing it, but it's very stressful, and you're too attached to that stock because you're constantly monitoring every single minute and second and just the whole price action, and everything scares you, everything worries you. Not you, but me. So what I've been doing recently is, ever since I blew up, is I've been trying to see what taking just a one entry is going to do. And basically, if I'm early, I'm early. If I'm late, I'm late. It is what it is. But I stick to one entry, risk off of, ultimate risk, and and adjust my size according to where I enter, so that my dollar risk is the same regardless of where I enter. So for UTSI, I don't want to get too much into it because that was from yesterday, but I'll go over it. So UTSI, I was in at 218, and I took one entry, but I was still risking that 2.8 level. So if I had gone in, let's say at 2.5, then I would have taken more shares, because the difference between 2.5 and 2.8 is smaller, so I can take more shares to risk the same amount of money on that trade. So and the reason it seems like I got in way early, even though I wanted 250, was because it had a morning spike, and this is where I got in, right here near the top. So if this had ended up going down, I would have had a perfect entry, but it just ended up holding and reclaiming and going higher, and you just don't know that it's going to do that. So that's why my entry, in hindsight, my entry was bad, but in the moment I had a very solid entry here. But yeah, so I just took less shares, as opposed if I was to get in at 230, 240, 250, then I could have taken much more and risking off of this 280. I hope that I elaborated enough on that. If there's something that you want me to touch on or that I missed, let me know right now, and then I can go over it again. What's up, Bruno? Anyway, so VTVT, that's the plan, and SNOA is very similar. We have 35 million resistance on this day here at $20, and 25 million at 12.5. Now it's already trading over 7 million this morning pre-market, so on the day it's going to trade 70 million or so. Now 70 million overwhelms these 2 days, so I won't be touching it right now pre-market. What I'm going to be waiting for is for this to fail, and to me what that means is wait for the open, see if we can get a morning spike or whatever happens, and then I'll attack it later, 10 a.m., 11, 12, 1 p.m. So because the volume is more than the resistance, I need to wait and be patient. So that's actually another adjustment I've made since I've blown up. I completely stopped trading stuff that is too early. I'd rather be more patient and be late, but be on the right side of the move than be early in pre-market and then get squeezed. So SNOA and VTVT are my other watches, but those are going to be later into the open. And then SLS is the one I'm watching for a morning spike, 16 to 18 bucks. Dallas, yes, thank you. Been having issues sizing in when right, as everyone says. If you're sizing in once confirmed, you bring your average down. Yeah, exactly. You bring your average down, and it sucks. And you size in two. The thing is with that is especially let's say you size in a third, and then it confirms. So then you size in full. It just happens where a lot of times in this market where it reclaims and it goes higher. And then either you're stuck with two options. Either you let's say you don't cut it and you keep your risk. Well, now you're sizing full way too low, and your dollar risk, compared to the actual risk that we're going to cut it, is now enormous, is now 3 times the size of what you want it to be, because you're in full size way too low. So if that happens, it's very hard to cut those trades. And then especially if it goes even higher, then it's even harder to cut it, because now your loss is way, way, way bigger. So there's that, and it's if that happens and you do cut it, once it reclaims, then you're just taking multiple tries at a stock, and it's just a bunch of paper cuts adding up, and that's also really annoying and can be draining. But that's it. If anybody has anything, any questions, then I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna probably trade SLS live in the room right now, and we're just gonna wait for a morning spike, 16 to 18 bucks, see if we can get it. If not, yeah, so I'll see you guys next week. Stay safe.